Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Austin, here from Just a Relevant Productions. Today's date is Thursday, July 30th, 2020. It is 8 o'clock p.m. at the time of the recording of this video. For those of you that were unaware, the Weather Channel and the National Hurricane Center has released their latest advisory, which took effect about an hour ago, and they are now calling Isaias to become a Category 1 hurricane by the time it gets to the Bahamas and eventually to the East Coast along the Carolinas as well as some parts of Georgia. So, here is the cone of uncertainty. Now, the reason why they call it the cone of uncertainty is because they don't exactly know where this tropical storm / hurricane is going to go. So here's where Isaias is right now. I hope that's the correct pronunciation. As you can see, the entire storm, as you can see, which is going through some parts of the Dominican Republic, it is very unorganized, but eventually, once it gets closer to the U.S., it will be more of a circular shape like most hurricanes are. And if I'm assuming, this is probably where the eye might be, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that. So looking at the timeline of where this storm is going to go. Starting with the Bahamas. Now, I'm sure that for those of you that live in the Bahamas, this is something you do not want to see. Consider the fact that you guys have gotten hit by Hurricane Dorian last year, which has decimated a good chunk of the island. But it says here, Isaias, July 31st at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Type, tropical storm, movement, northwest at 15 miles an hour, max sustained winds, 70 miles an hour, and pressure has not been determined yet. And then, by the time it gets to the Bahamas, it's going to be a Category 1 hurricane with 75 mile an hour winds. On August 1st, it's going to be making its way to the second island of the Bahamas, where Freeport is. 75 mile an hour winds once again. And then when we get to August 2nd, it's going to be hugging the east coast of Florida as a Category 1 hurricane with sustained winds of 75 miles an hour. It's going to be slowing down quite a bit, around 10 miles per hour. And I wouldn't be surprised if it starts to stall as it gets closer to the East Coast. But again, like I mentioned in these previous videos, and the ones I've done in the past, just take note that this is all speculation. We don't know where this storm is going to go, because things can change over time. That's just the way the weather works. August 3rd. So as it gets closer to Wilmington, Florence, as well as Jacksonville, as well as parts of Fayetteville and Raleigh, it's going to be a Category 1 hurricane with, again, 75 mile an hour winds, so nothing has changed there. And then when we get closer where I live, and as you can see, I am, in fact, in the cone, though if you notice this dotted line, that basically is the center of the storm. But given the fact that I'm not in the center storm, means that it's not going to make a direct impact. But again, for the next couple of days, I'm going to have to monitor these computer models as well as the cone of uncertainty, determine exactly where this thing is going to go, and if it does end up becoming a Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane, then we will have to evacuate. But again, we don't know that for sure. So, and it looks like it's going to be hitting some parts of New Jersey as well. Okay, and then, as it gets close to New England area, it's going to be dropping down to around 70 miles an hour, and we'll be back to a tropical storm. But again, this can all change. Alright, so, you might be wondering, what are the impacts going to be? Well, it's too early to tell at this point of what it's going to be, but as with any hurricane that we will have, there will be impacts like very heavy rain, which can lead to localized flooding, beach erosion, high surf warnings, as well as storm surge. But anyways, that is all for the update. I will be back tomorrow to go in and upload another video, because once this thing gets past Haiti, we will know exactly where the storm is going to go. So anyways, I figured I'd update you guys on this.